Welcome to Exploring the Ozarks, where we learn what defines the culture of the Ozarks one person, place, and story at a time. We're here with Matt Graham and David Carr at Studio One. Join us as we explore the story of today's guest. Here's Matt.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Exploring the Ozarks, Season 2 now, David.
Yes, well, technically Season 4, because I had a Season 1 and 2 before you came on.
Oh.
But I say this, I think we talked about this earlier, actually. I kind of want to make sure we're our own thing. So, yeah, this is Season 2.
Season 2.
The official Season 2 with the new crew and with, I think, the show that actually has worked.
Yeah, new set, too. You're going to hear a lot more about what this is, and I can't wait for you to hear that, so you'll have to tune in.
You'll hear some stories on it.
Some cool stories. But
we can say that Ozarks inspired.
Ozarks inspired, which is why the barrel. That's why we still have our mints and the other barrel, the spool, I guess. But we've filmed a few so far that I always say that I'm excited about it, but it's because I don't see this content anywhere else I look, especially about the Ozarks. But just to have the people that we have from the Ozarks that are in this show and are a part of it, and they almost feel like family when they leave.
That's very true. Yeah.
And they all are so excited by the time they leave that they're like, we need to do more. We need to do more.
Well, speaking of that, like last year, we had a lot of really good guests last year.
Huge guests, honestly.
We had Caleb from Boston Dynamics came in, which was amazing.
Boston Dynamics. I thought that show would have got more views, and that's not saying we didn't get a lot.
Go watch it. That's what we're saying right now.
Coolest ones I think you could ever hear of. But we did a recap last year. But this year, already we've got, the Atos Performing Arts Center that you guys are going to hear a lot more about. One of the performers that's a nationwide, actually international performer. We just got done interviewing a few minutes ago, so you guys will see that before his performance over at the Atos.
But what we're really excited about is not that we're doing a ton more podcasts. We're actually going to cut back our podcasts a little bit. We're going to keep the other week, every other week system going, because we're going to do a lot of other things. A lot more short videos.
Stuff that we set out to do at the beginning of all this, and then the podcast kind of took over because of scheduling, really, of people that were like, yes, I need to be on X amount of this time, and so we had to fit it all in, and then it became a monster on us.
It kind of did, and we discovered we wanted to get more interaction from people that are watching. So we're going to start asking more questions and getting more interaction, your thoughts on things, and your thoughts on Ozarks culture, because that's one of the things we discovered is it's like we want to hear people's stories, but the reason we're called Exploring the Ozarks is because we're trying to discover what are the Ozarks, and the thing that defines the Ozarks is our specific culture to the area.
And it's hard to have all of these things on a podcast, right? So we're going to have shorter videos for you guys to digest. We're going to go on location more. We're always coming up with ideas. It seems like that's really a majority of my time spent away from work is working on this, which it's good because the stuff that we're putting out to you guys, it is important, I think, if you live in this area, or even if you're not from this area, it's important because it gives you an outlet to be able to learn the area, learn how the people are and things like that, because I have a lot of people that I do business with that are from out of state and they move here and they have so many questions about the Ozarks, because I feel like the reason why we started this in the first place is because it is a unique area to live.
It really is.
People start going, like we always talk about, why are people waving at me, when I go places? Or one question I get a lot specifically from one of my clients that's become a good friend of mine is, where do I go to do X, Y, Z? Yeah. They call me as the person who knows everything about the area because I've lived here. What's the best way to meet people but not go to church?
Well, and the Ozarks are getting more and more cultural influence. We have a whole bunch of different types of food. We've had a foodie on here, and we talked about all the different types of cultural food we have here. We got the Atos Center, we got the Galois, we got all
and
these
it's
really
just growing all the time.
Yeah, so we got that new thing at the fairgrounds now that's going to bring in bigger acts. We got we got farm life, we got urban life, we got. Just think about last year, Jeff Houghton, who came in, and he was on Letterman, came back here, did a late night show, and he continues to do stuff like that. And we have other people that do things like that around here.
That's one of the fun parts about why we started it again, was the fact that we had all these people that were like, I went away, did this. They did either great things or just went to college like I did. And you had this longing to want to come back, but why?
Yeah.
And I knew why. I was like, gosh, I miss being on the rivers and streams and trails and
being
waved at by random people.
Several things with that on the show already. Like we went to the James River and floated there. And
we went on the Finley too.
Yeah.
Which we'll do more of that. David's getting more comfortable in a canoe.
I already was.
With all of his equipment.
I think
is the hard part.
That's the thing, yeah.
But I really feel like even just when we went on the Finley and on the James River, people learned a lot about the fact that, I was just talking to a guy the other day who's like, yeah, I've been on the James, but it's not that impressive. And I'm like, but did you go on the stretch that I took my producer on?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, what's a Galena? And I had to describe the roads and how to get there. And he's like, well,
and Y Bridge.
Right. I said, that's your landmark. It's to get to the Y Bridge, and then you go upstream. And I had to tell him where to go. And then he's like, I think I just need to schedule a time for you to walk me through this.
Yeah.
I said, why don't you just go pay attention to my page? It's called Exploring the Ozarks.
We can introduce you to the River Dogs. A group that we have yet to bring in.
Gosh, man, put that on their list.
We need to bring it. We need to bring them in because we met them on the James River, and
that's such a cool group.
That's been such a thing about doing the show. It's like we met the owners of Pappy's before Wayne passed, unfortunately. But I thought it was one of those things where it kind of spoke to me about why we do this. Yeah. We were able to capture the life of somebody that passed away, and that was something that people in the community were able to take comfort in, and also watch and learn about this amazing.
And
person.
He was the epitome of leaving and coming to the Ozarks,
with all the music and
setting up shop with one of the most historical restaurants ever.
And his isn't the only story where we've done we've dug into those things and really found out more about what it means to live here in the Ozarks, and what the culture is around here.
And but then we want to bring in people that are entertainers, which we already have, and we have more planned for that.
Civic leaders.
Oh my gosh,
we had Bob Dixon last year.
Bob Dixon. We just did filming for the mayor of Nixa. Not to give it away too much, but
only a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But
when we talked to Bob, though, one of the things we want to talk about on this one of the Ozarks was like funny names in Greene County.
Oh, Ozarks. That was just Greene County too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I've got a whole book on names of Missouri towns and why their names are that way,
which
like
would be amazing to go through.
Like that. Which I'll bring that book in eventually. But for now, we've got already a few guests that we're going to have on that are actually some of the best interviews I've ever had. I mean, as far as between the radio show and this, just the last 3 we've had have been amazing.
Yeah.
Now we have international touring artists that are coming on this, so it's not just an Ozarks thing now. It's getting bigger than that.
Well, and the reasons why they're coming here too, because they wouldn't be coming here unless the culture of the area was able to sustain that sort of stuff.
Exactly, and that's finally where we're to that pivotal point in the Springfield-Nixa region area. That people are noticing us now. We're not just an average Springfield since there's so many of them now. Yeah. But we're the best one, obviously.
Yeah, we talk about Springfield, but we have interviewed people from down in northern Arkansas, which is part of the Ozarks. And
Tim Ernst.
It goes up further north, up towards Jeff City and over into Kansas. And there's all these places that we still have yet to really get into and explore.
Right.
And what I'm really excited about is, we've started asking more thought-provoking questions, is what we're calling them.
I love it.
Because what we want to learn what the hidden parts of the Ozarks are from the people that are in the Ozarks. So, people those of you that are following the page, that, are considering following the page and interact with the community, that's what a lot of it's about, is like learning what are the cool areas of the Ozarks, what are the things that make up the Ozarks.
And why.
And I'm excited to have more of those conversations. We had a couple of really in-depth, like, what happened to you after you were called loud on your report card. That was one.
Oh my gosh, man, that one spoke to me, David. And you're the one that put that out, and I know you weren't the kid.
No, that was you. That was the report card one.
Oh gosh, that one.
I asked about the culture of the Ozarks.
That one hit me hard when I saw it because I'm like, gosh, man, I remember my parents getting just railroaded it every time we went to a parent-teacher conference about why does your
kid...
Yeah, why does your kid talk so much? And they're like, he doesn't talk much at home or at church. He doesn't talk much, but he talks here, I guess. But that was where it started from. Yeah. So today I was told that there was a room full of people talking, and the president of where I was at said, but I could hear Matt Graham in the back. And I was like, that was my inside voice.
It's that radio voice. It's that radio. It's the...
Oh yeah!
I knew it,
yeah! And it follows me everywhere I go. This is me whispering, by the way, actually. So
and you see how far he is from the microphone, how close I am. This is
it says a lot, right?
This is a thing.
But it's the small things that we want to get to you guys as fans of it. That we really just want to tell the stories of the Ozarks, and what better way to do it than with people from the Ozarks? Yeah. You've got Everyday Ozarkian.
Yep.
With John.
Yeah, he's going to come back and do some more of that for sure.
Because people really hooked on that falconry.
Well, that was George Crone.
George Crone.
He's that was those ones that I was recording, but
as part of the Everyday Ozarkian was pretty cool about
as a series on falconry.
A lot of questions about falconry.
Yeah, and we have several more of those videos coming out actually because it was a 5-part series, and George is a great storyteller.
Yeah.
John had several stories like about the macaws and the what was it, the orneriest man in Arkansas.
Yeah, that one was hilarious.
Shorts.
Actually,
he's going to go out and actually like try to talk to people in the streets and get like everyday stories.
And that's just a facet. I mean, a small sliver of what we're doing. So we want you guys to stay tuned to what we're doing.
We're getting more music acts.
More music. That's one big focus we have this year. So here's what I'll say: is if you do have a band, which Eddie Gamuzzi over at Queen City Shout puts on the biggest music festival in Springfield, and hopefully that becomes something that becomes like at specific big venues and have big bands. But if you have a band, reach out to us because we do have a stage. We have a full-on theater in there.
Yes, we do.
That gives you guys a good platform to go, practice your work, but give us some stuff that we can help pitch you guys. Ultimately, what I would like to portray with this isn't about me and David. This is about everybody that we have on this show because we want you to get to know these people because this is where you start to learn how these people operate, why they're doing what they're doing, and maybe it makes you interested to go out and actually, go to their restaurant, go to the Atos, go watch a show, go take your kids somewhere that you may have seen on here. But we also want you guys to tell us, maybe you went and did something cool that we don't know about, that we want to know about. We'll go explore it for everybody else.
Yeah. I think that's a great place to end this segment because this is just an introduction to the second season and
stay tuned. There's a lot coming up. We've got a whole schedule that we just came up with for the months that we want to do certain things. So you'll see a lot more hiking. Hopefully getting out on the water more often because I have a lot of places for you to go, buddy. Restaurants, we do have a foodie that we're going to be having on here as well that we're going to go check out some places. Not food reviews, more of what we're doing right here. Stories, history of the place, things like that. So stay tuned to what we're doing. We love what we're doing. We know you guys are going to love what we're doing. So just keep watching us and keep exploring the Ozarks. Thanks again for listening to Exploring the Ozarks. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our social media channels to help us keep exploring the stories of the Ozarks. If you're looking for more ways to support our show, we have sponsorships for businesses and Patreon for individual supporters. Check the links in the description for more details. Thanks for your support, and keep exploring the Ozarks.